This is not a music stream, some creativity. I do like having some music. Hey, how are you? It's time. It's totally time. How are you? Have you been waiting long? I'm just gonna do a little bit of housekeeping here so that my workstation is nice and easy for me to navigate. Tonight's Lofi is something new. It's by a YouTuber, Excelete. And if you're over there on YouTube and you can see my description, I've got a link to this exact track. This whole album, it's on a nice 4-hour loop. All right. So tonight I'm gonna do something a little different. I know this last month I've been doing a painting. Painting's been really nice. And I totally enjoy it. But here's the thing. Every once in a while, I get tired of the big project that I'm doing. That's why it took me like a couple of years to finish the Freddy painting. And if you head out to my Instagram, you will see it. See, if I have a command so that it shows you what my socials are, I can't remember it. It's been a while. But I'm gonna go ahead and pin that. So tonight I want to do something that is not the painting. Oh no, Wynne, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna paint miniatures again? No, I'm not. But I'm gonna do something just as small. And I've been working on making sure that the camera angle is just right. And then we're gonna completely do this. So, some of you know that me, your friend, Wynne Blue, that I'm an artist, and I don't just paint. I illustrate, I draw, I sculpt. What other fun things could I do? Yeah. You can either work 2D, 3D, pick your medium. I'll tell you what I don't do. I don't carve things out of butter. I'm so sorry. I know you were looking forward to me sculpting like 10 pounds of butter. It won't stand up to the lights, I'm afraid. So no butter carving today. Instead, I am going to bring out my Sculpey. And I should probably bring out what do you call it? A sketchbook, so I know exactly what it is that I'm making. So let me bring out a couple of things. We'll switch to the desk view, and you can see what I'm working on. And let's get started, shall we? Oh, I forgot my shtick. Hello, my name is Wynne. I'm an artist and musician out of the Seattle metropolitan area. And if you want to get picky about it because you're already in Seattle, I'm actually in Bothell. It's good for everybody. It's good for me. It's good for you. Everybody is safe. All right. So first, let me show you some of my materials. Oh yeah. See, I picked this angle so you could see more of what I was actually doing. And this way, you know, I've got enough light, and hopefully everything will focus properly. I also have a control so we can look up close if we want to. All right, so if we want to look up close, we'll go like this. Boom. But for right now, I kind of need the extra camera angle so you can see what my workspace is going to look like tonight. This is waterless hand cleaner. It is also known as goop. It's something mechanics use. And because polymer is basically a petroleum product, and it's kind of hard to wash out of your hands, I'm going to be using this to clean my hands a bit if I'm switching colors. I've got 3 boxes just like this. And a couple of extra colors. I have a design in mind. So let's look at the colors I'm working with. I've got some nice browns and terracottas. And I know I was working on something else at the time. Ooh, silver and red. There is no rhyme or reason to how I packed this. None whatsoever. And then I've got something a little more vivid. So I will be keeping these over next to me because there's just not enough room here on desk land, you know. Oh, that was loud. Now, a long time ago, when I was first doing art streams, I decided that, I think it was probably January, maybe last year. Time really flies. But a relative had given me a sampler pack of polymer clay from Arteza, which is something you can get on Amazon. And just to show you a couple of things that I kind of dink around with. If you recognize this, we're probably about the same age. This is a ream key bass, or should I say ream key bass. It is a replica of the one that I think Bob Wynne played in the Devo Whip It video back in probably 1982. I have 2 sculptures that I did of Devo in the Whip It scenario. It never went anywhere, but I've got 2 of them, which is nice. And those little bottles. I just kind of covered this one with a cat. Yeah, focus, my friend. There we go. He's a little dusty because I pulled him off the shelf. But this was kind of a fun one to do. So tonight's project is a gecko. And I've been meaning to do this for a while. So I'm going to look up a gecko on my iPad and see maybe I can do some scribbling just to get an idea of what I want my gecko to look like. Now, geckos are adorable as heck. They're basically like little dogs. They lick things like their eyeballs. Not the same kind of balls that, say, a dog would, but that's okay. See how cute? They're very cute. We used to have one. So basically what I'm doing is I am finding kind of a basic picture of a gecko, getting an idea of his shape, what his mouth looks like. So this will be my reference point. And I think I'm going to download this guy. Cute freaking geckos. Dang it, and they're smiling too. Crud. I love this guy. He's like a baby. Okay. And where were we? All right, let me grab something real quick that will make this a lot easier to work with. And if you've been here for the last few weeks, this is the painting that I've been working on. This is the photograph of the painting that I've been working on. Oh. Come on, where's my music? There we are. Okay. So the reason I'm doing a gecko is that by doing a gecko, I am working on replacing some figurines within a game that I have been modifying for a friend of mine who is not good with insects. They don't like insects. They don't want to be around pictures of them. They don't want to see them in their house. They don't even want to hear the name of the creature. Now, personally, I don't have a problem. personally, I don't have a problem with a gecko. But she does, so I'm replacing all of the giant spiders, because there's like a giant spider in this game. It's like a tarantula. So I am removing it, and the boss is going to be a gecko. There's also a centipede in this game, and I'll be replacing that one with a snake. All right, so this should be interesting. Let's take him down a notch. And then I will just do some basic sketching. I think I might need to make him smaller. Okay, so here is where things go sideways. Now I may have to anthropomorphize him a little bit. But I just kind of want to get his basic. The head shape is always going to be a little weirder. So we've got a nice bit of eye here. But the big thing is going to be this hood over the eye. He's got to have a tummy on him. That's kind of important. before I came on, I looked at my notifications, and a friend of mine who doesn't stream very often, she is actually doing a stream right now, so I might have some company if she runs out of steam. This guy's elbows high up on his arm so that he has, I think I'm going to change this so his tail goes in a different direction. Continue doing some destruction here. Now, this isn't exactly what my sculpture is going to turn out to be. But I wanted to get an idea of what pose he should have. Big stick. Okay. Flat head. I'm wondering if he should have a helmet or something. I was thinking about putting some armor on him. Okay. All right, now we need that tail. All right, let's clean him up a little bit. Okay. Oops. All right, so there is our gecko. I think he needs to be chubbier. But that's just me. Okay. Oh, that was loud. Okay, there is kind of the gecko that we're looking for. And let's see if I can give him some kind of I'm going to see what some armor or something would look like on him. I just don't know what kind of armor I'd put on him. Yeah, there we go. And you know, when it comes to something like this, it just has to be for looks, you know? And we will end up making the body first before anything is considered for accoutrement. So maybe he'll have something like this. Or maybe he'll have horns. I know geckos don't have ears, but you know, just brainstorming. And I've got these clothes on a separate layer, so I can add a couple of things up here maybe. All right, so what we have is width, without, width, without. Okay, so let me see if I can print this. All right, well, let's print it so we can use it as a reference. Well, there goes most of my black ink, but it works. Okay, I'm going to put this up here so I can see it. And I am going to start with a green clay. And then I'm going to add something to it. This clay hasn't been used in a while. It's going to need some conditioning. And one of the nice things about polymer is that you can either add something to it, like this, or you can cut it with a softer clay. And I think a softer clay is probably going to need to happen here. Heck, maybe both. Did I say softer? I meant more obnoxious. hand strength for this, but I do have tools. I hope you're doing all right tonight. It's Wednesday, my dudes. And while I can't make a frog on a unicycle right now, I just want you to know I'm thinking of you this Wednesday. Oh, there we go. It's starting to soften up a little bit. I titled this Flexing Creative Muscle. Little did I know I was going to be using actual muscle to make this work. When I had a station in my dining room dedicated to this, I had set up a pasta roller because that makes things go so much faster. Pretty soon this will be gecko colored. This started to get sticky on me, so I'm getting some baby wipes. Get all that green. You can't see it very well. I'd forgotten how time-consuming mixing clay is. It's not like mixing paint where you can just kind of get lost in it. it's starting to mix pretty well. Luckily, there's plenty of clay. Luckily, there's plenty of clay here, so I won't have to go through this more than once. Now, one of the things that I have here is an armature, which I may or may not actually use. This guy can be as tall as he needs to be, or as he wants to be. It's looking real nice. Like I said, I haven't done clay in a really long time. And I don't expect to do a lot more mixing tonight. This is pretty much the extent of what I had hoped to do. With color, at least. And I'll probably paint him a little bit, give him a dusting of something. All right. Good job. Let's flatten him out a little bit. All right, that's really close. The only thing that I have is some color bands in there, I guess. But as I work with it, it's gonna mix a little more. All right, there we go. Wynne, what are you doing with that waterless hand cleaner? Oh, well, I'll tell you. I'm using it to break up some of the polymers to. It's a little less stinky than this one. This one smells like drain cleaner. I don't really want that. Alright, so we got a bit of shine in here. Always nice. A little bit of shine, a little bit of yellow. Let me turn this down a little bit. Are gonna hurt so much tomorrow, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Just little old me and gecko. Just little old me and a gecko. He's gonna be fierce. He's defending his castle, yeah. Got nothing better to do but be a gecko in a dungeon. He's looking for you, gonna do something to you too. He's got a stick, he will poke you. Then you'll say, ouch. Hey, what'd you poke me with that stick for? He licks his eyeball and says, you don't belong. What if you steal all my food? I've got gummy bears. All right, let's get ourselves just a little something in here to start with. And if this isn't the right size, I'm just gonna say, dang. Thought I had it. I might not be able to use this until after I've made the basics. But he does have to stand up straight. And this will help. Normally I would do this with floral tape, but I can't find mine. It's possible I threw it out. Myrrh. Sad Wynne. But I'm taping this in order for the clay to stick to it. And it doesn't have to be clean, it just has to be functional. Oh, the sounders are on. So yesterday I had a sleep study. Actually, I woke up from it last night. It was a very strange experience. People who know me, know me well, they know that I haven't slept in a really long time. And we needed to know why. Why am I all foggy? Is it just that I'm not getting enough sleep? Is it that my sleep is terrible? I just don't wake up rested. So I go to this facility because when I made the appointment, my doctor said, if your allergies are making it worse, that's one thing we can rule out. Okay, fair enough. My dog was definitely a concern. And I have a cat. But he doesn't really enjoy sleeping in the bedroom with us. He would rather sleep in a window all night. He only comes in if he needs food. All right, let's see how well this does. We got a little torso there. Now I gotta wrap all this stuff up with the legs. Oh, he was already really skinny. Uh-oh. I see a problem. these are not quite the proportions I was hoping for, but we're just beginning to put meat on the bones, so I'm not going to think too hard about it. It's looking a little better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a lot more meat on this guy's bones. Looks like we've got a head now. the sleep study thing was strange. They put a bunch of stuff in my hair. It was very gooey, and when I came home, I couldn't just wipe it out with a washcloth. That was great. I had to shampoo my hair twice to get it out. Very exciting. And the worst part is the waiting. Now I get to wait to see if sleeping is killing me. And if it isn't, I'll just go, wow, that sucks. Guess I'm gonna need something to help me sleep. I usually sleep with a podcast in my ear. There are a few sleepy podcasts that are actually really, really great. If you like a woman's voice to lull you to sleep, I recommend The Sleepy Bookshelf. It is voiced by an English woman named Elizabeth. She has a very soothing voice. And right now I am reading halfway through her version of Emma, which I think is a Bronte novel. As in, hey, one of the Bronte sisters wrote it. Oh, I won't know for a while, DBT. It's really nice to see you. About 20 minutes before I was scheduled to come on, Irene went live, and I don't know how long she was, I don't know if she's still on, but I thought, darn it. But, you know, if she had waited, she might not have done it. But it was a very weird, experience to do the sleep study. There was a TV in the room. It was like a little cruise ship. Television, a weird bathroom, not enough places to plug things in, and a full-size bed when I'm used to a queen. Oh well. And I slept okay. Half the night they had me sleeping without a machine, and then the other half of the night, they put a contraption on my face. Yeah, it's hard to get comfortable and get an accurate test. I kind of wish I had just done it at home. But the doctor wanted me to take it at the facility. And I won't find out any results until my doctor has a chance to review it. I swear there was a sensor on every single thing. Sensors on my legs and on my face and on the top of my head. They had it in my hair. But I needed to do it. I don't think I could have taken any more sleepless nights or nights where I sleep so hard that I can't get up because my body is just a rock, you know? You ever had mornings like that where you're awake, but your muscles are just so exhausted? If you were able to fall asleep even for a bit and get to REM sleep, they should have an idea of whether I did stop breathing several times. Now, I might have misunderstood their process, but I know that she had said that if I snored, she was going to come in and put the mask on me. And I'm like, okay. And she did. My first question was, oh no, did I snore? No. I had my podcast, because I always fall asleep with a podcast. And then I have a headband with Bluetooth speakers in it that I use to listen, and I couldn't fall asleep to it. Usually I'm out like a light because the podcast puts me to sleep. This time I ended up listening to the whole story up until the part where the narrator says, "Good night." And you know, I fall asleep so often to that podcast, I didn't even realize he said good night at the end of the story. I mean, it's great I learned something new, but I'm usually asleep. Oh, I'm right behind the thing. Let me put my glass on here. Maybe I'm dependent on the podcast, but I need something to turn off the noise, you know? Because I have that ringing in my ears from years and years of being in a rock and roll band has kind of taken its toll. So if I'm stressed out, my ears are ringing. And I did dream. I know that much. It was a very weird dream. And as soon as I got home in my dream, my husband was dancing in time with the rhythm, and there was a DJ at my dining table. I thought, okay, this is a dream. Two things that would never happen in my house. I kind of wish they had had a shower available there. I guess they used to, but they shut them all down at COVID and never turned them back on again. got home and I had a very big breakfast because I didn't really eat anything between 7 p.m. and bedtime. Made myself a BLT. Had a couple of cups of coffee. It was great. Need to add on to those legs a little bit. I did a little sketch at the beginning of my stream. I'm going to try for this, but I'm not hopeful. I think his legs are a little too chunky. So I'm going to go in here and remove a couple of things. After those 2 cups of coffee, though, I got a lot done. I've been working in Audacity, trying to learn how to use a real DAW. I want to call it a cheat code, but that's not it. I have a copy of Ableton as well, but Ableton is a little too much to digest right now. So I'm sticking with Audacity for now. set up my Harmony ladies with BandLab accounts. You know, just a little place where they can record their harmony parts and listen to stuff that we've each put down, and then we can see it all in the same place. But there's always some pushback. Oh, I didn't get it right. I don't know how to record a new track without destroying this one. Because you can use BandLab on your phone or on your laptop or desktop browser. And I think it's, you know, if you are not used to using recording stuff, yeah, that can get kind of intimidating. Did I tell you, DBT? Oh, I got a minute left to go. It's the ads, but the ads gotta pay my bills, y'all. Was not expecting to perform surgery on my gecko. I might have to take him apart and do a new armature. That kind of upsets me a little. The only thing the armature is really supposed to do is give him some kind of structure so that when I stick him in his little spot, he doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, I'm curious if I need to do this again. Kind of upsets me, but so I didn't watch any television. All I did was I have this game that a long time ago I got hooked on it. Because match threes are my weakness. I had a game, I couldn't get out of it, so I finally had to force myself to delete everything I had and leave the game. And now I'm pretty much playing the same game, but under a different name. Very frustrating. Oh, come on now. I keep waiting for something to fall on the floor. Because it wouldn't be my stream if something didn't fall on the floor. Tell me more what's involved with the game. Okay. Well, the game is kind of a tabletop role-playing game. It's called Mice and Mystics. And the idea of the game is, or at least the premise, is that you and your party are part of a prince's posse, and your kingdom is being overrun by a witch who wants your kingdom. And they're about to get captured, so the wizard that's with them does the only thing he can think of, and he shrinks them down into mice. Yep. Oh, the match 3 game. The match 3 game is basically like Merge Kingdom. And Merge Kingdom is a game about wasting time. Because if you are wasting time, you're pretty much waiting for things to happen constantly. And they have little mini games where you can waste your time for a limited amount of time. And I never, ever, ever finish them. Even though every time they pop up, I say, this is the time. This is the time I'm going to actually win it. I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to get the super prize. And it's going to be awesome. But every time I think I finish it, the princess says, oh, well, we have to get the fish. Or we have to get the food critic to make sure that it all tastes good. Oh no, we have to repair the what's it. We don't have enough wine. Oh, and Dad can't drink anything if it's not out of his special cup. And so you just end up over and over and over. And then eventually you run out of resources and you're waiting to waste some more time. Because you expend energy to get to these resources. And once you've exhausted your energy, you have to wait 3 minutes per unit of energy. I'm pretty sure we all have useless phone games that we play. The wife is obsessed with Monopoly. Monopoly Go. Oh. I play just so she has someone to play with. Not that she needs someone to play with. Yeah, well, if Monopoly Go is anything like Pokemon Go, you kind of want to have somebody in the game to trade Pokemon with. Okay. I'm not sure what Monopoly Go is, but I imagine it needs GPS and the game knows what street you're on. That kind of thing. I stopped playing Pokemon Go when the Harry Potter Wizards game came out. And I really liked that game. Unfortunately, it was not very popular. So they shut it down. And, I really liked that game. I liked how they would have community days and everybody would go down to the park and we'd battle each other with Pokemon. My first public event, I was so excited to meet new people. We played Pokemon Go for a long time together. We'd even go out on Saturdays and find different stops and hang out with people. Yeah, there we go. Monopoly Go is not quite as go as the Pokemon. Why it has Go behind it, I don't know. It's simply almost like a slots game. Yep. I can see that. I hate that I have to do this gecko all over again. But dang it, I'm gonna make it happen. Let's see how quickly I can make a shape. Yeah, well, I've got this, it's a match 3 game, but it's also a match 8, 9, 12, and 17 game. So if you collect enough resources of the same type and you merge them, you get extras. It's kind of wild. Girl could care less where I live. But I pretty much played my little matching game. It's exactly like Merge Kingdom, but Merge Kingdom had more humans in it. Okay, that looks good. We recently got a tabletop game called Fountains. Jack had played it at one of our game nights. And he really liked it. But he couldn't remember who brought it. So now we're just going to keep bringing it to game night until somebody tells us where the game came from. tabletop kind of games you play, DBT, but I have really been enjoying this one game. It's really silly. It's called 5 Minute Dungeon. You have 5 minutes to battle all of the baddies in the dungeon. And the way you do that is everybody has a character, and each character has a deck of cards that is color-coded to that character. Each character has a specific ability, like this one can stop time, and this one can kill a monster, and this one can defeat anything, and this one's a wild card, and it's really fun. But because it's kind of energetic, and it seems like every time somebody plays it, it's for the first time. So I have to teach people how to play it all over again. And that's fine, I guess. I'm trying to figure out how in the world do I do this. Played all of them well. As long as we can get our hands on the game, we'll try it. Been a severe lack of new games and finding people who have new games. Yeah. I mean, you can only play so much Munchkin and Carcassonne. Everybody in our game group knows how to play Seven Wonders. So if we need a quick game, that's one of the games that we bring out. All of my games are kind of old. Like I have this one game called, I think I got it from my dad, and I don't know why he had it. My dad likes strategy games like Axis and Allies and Risk. I got him to play Ticket to Ride, which was a lot of fun. The only complaint he had about Ticket to Ride was that the cards were really small. And we didn't have the 1910 expansion with the bigger cards. I've played Munchkins, I've played Seven Wonders. My mom loves playing Carcassonne, so we have to play that every now and again. Yep. Oh no, not Catan. Oh, I do not like Catan. The only version of Settlers of Catan I ever really liked playing was Catan Jr., and it is almost nothing like the adult game. And I really liked it. And I'm like, oh, I'll totally play this again. This is a game for children, Wynne. Like, yes, and for some reason, it's way less monotonous. So Catan is out if they're going to bring out a Catan game. I don't care what theme it is. I am just not playing it. I'm terrible to play games with because I memorize everything. So when you're playing Ticket to Ride with me, I have all the cards memorized and all the routes memorized. All the rules or all the routes? It's probably all the routes. I once played Ticket to Ride with my stepson, and towards the end of the game, there were no cards left. And we're like, where did all the freaking cards go? And it turns out he had been collecting the cards all game. And, well, he put down all his trains all at once. I was pretty ticked at him for that. Everybody was like, you're not supposed to do that. Is there something in the rules that says that I'm not supposed to do that? Well, no, but it's kind of takes the fun out of the game. He's the kind of kid that likes the games that have high strategy in them, a lot of different facets to the game. For me, everybody plays on a Friday night, and Friday nights are not good for brains. And my friends who have this, who have Ticket to Ride, they have almost every city that they've released of that game. It's kind of wild. It's funny you say that. I figured out the second time I played it as well and did that. But yeah, you're going to get in trouble for that. You can't keep other people from playing. You can't do it. Don't do it, DBT. I know it's tempting. But I think in Devin's case, he really wasn't thinking too hard about it. It wasn't his strategy. It just turned out that way. But now, from now on, it's going to be a strategy. Everybody gets all these cards, but if I don't pick up these cards, I'll never have them. And then, of course, there's somebody who goes, well, you're the reason that I don't have this. The book never said anything about a hand limit, so I just kept collecting and getting what I needed to make my route. That's funny. That is funny. One of the South Korea, Ticket to Ride South Korea was really fun. A little weird, but still fun. I liked San Francisco because all of the cars on the cards for San Francisco were cars that had been associated with San Francisco. Like there was a VW bus, the trolley car, you know, the San Francisco trolley car. And there was also the green Mustang from Bullitt. I also know how to stop someone from doing it. There are bottlenecks in the game. And if you don't need them but play cards on those bottlenecks, that'll screw everybody up. Oh, yeah. I have been called names more times than I care to admit. Just from doing that. I don't mind, though. They mind, but I don't mind. Okay, let's get some skinny stuff on those lower legs. Because you want the fat little gecko legs. I have this There was this trio of games from the same game company, and they play similarly, but they're not the same game, you know. One of them is called Calico, and there's so many different ways that you can score with that game. You can score with colors, you can score with patterns, you can score with shapes. And I think it's kind of cute because there's colors, and those are just, you know what your colors are, and if you make a grouping with the colors, you get a button of that color, right? But then there are cats, because cats love quilts. And the cats have preferred patterns that they like to sleep on. So if you want to collect a cat for your quilt, you have to appeal to their patterns. Patterns don't have any color because cats are colorblind. So you have to appeal to their patterns. The more I'm cursed at or have people getting mad at me, the better I know I'm playing the game. That is something our game group calls cutthroat. And we try to put all the cutthroat players at the same table. Because the cutthroat players all have strategy and they're all playing to win. And that's fine, right? But I like the Calico game, but it makes people very antsy because, well, there's so many different layers to how you can score, and if you are not careful, you'll try to score too many things in one move, and then you'll get frustrated. It's like, dude, either go for all cats, go for all buttons, or just, stick to the things that are already on your game board. You'll be fine. No, but I have analysis paralysis. What? I've always joked playing games with my family is hearts, rainbows, and butterflies. When I got into the real world, I realized that not everyone plays like that. There's a lot more backstabbing, cutthroat, as I call it, yeah. We have some players that they're not cutthroat, they just like to win, so they employ a strategy. And they have their own strategies for each game, and they either win or they don't. And then there are the ones that are all, how did you say it? Hearts, rainbows, and butterflies? Yeah, we have a name for that too. It's called Care Bear. So you either play games cutthroat, strategy, or Care Bear. If you're playing with children, you have to play Care Bear. No exceptions. However, if the kid turns out to be smart enough to play cutthroat, all bets are off. It's like, oh, you're going to play like that. Well, button up your jacket, kid. I'm going to teach you a lesson about cutthroat. Some kids take it in stride. Only had one kid cry. I'm guessing Care Bear ones, as you call them, probably where my mom falls into it. She wants to make sure when we're playing Monopoly that everyone gets set up with the property so they at least have a chance. Oh my gosh. So, kind of like, oh, well, I'm not going to take that color because I think you should have that color because you already have that color. Like that. Because I get that. But that's kind of like Care Bear. Care Bear is also not, well, you know how sometimes in games you have a choice. You can look out for your own interests, or you can sabotage other players. Oh, you made her own set of cards? That's awesome. That's kind of like what I'm doing. I'm making my friend her own set of characters, so she doesn't have to look at the terrible parts or the parts that would make her stop playing the game. So are you just going to print them out and laminate them kind of thing? Because I've done that. I actually, in the Dungeons and Dragons game that I'm playing right now, I found a tool that helps me keep track of my spells. And it is a set of spell cards. I'm sure that there are plenty of places you can get these spell cards, but these look pretty fancy, and it's kind of nice because I can edit them in a PDF and then print them out. And I've laminated mine because I put them on cardstock. And now I'm thinking, should I have put them on cardstock and laminated them? Should I have laminated them? Because now if I need to change something, I'm stuck. So I made a few blanks and got myself a couple of VAV pens. So if I need to change it, I can just wipe it off. I found a company that will professionally print them just like if it was a oh, I see. Or whatever brand name, and they're going to make about 30 to 50 decks for me when we get all the proofs done. Awesome. Who's illustrating them for you? Do you have like another streamer that does stuff like that? Or maybe you can go to their website and they already have a selection of icons and shapes and stuff. My buddy and I took the time to figure out what the king, queens, jacks, what the face cards look like, and then it was pretty simple to get the suits prepared. Okay. That's kind of fun. Sometimes I've thought about making my own tarot deck. I've seen so many tarot decks out there in the world. I encountered one recently called the Grunge Tarot. And I thought, what? And they're not really tarot decks. Because it didn't make any sense to me. Like, I would meet up with these ladies, I think you know one of them, and they liked these oracle cards. I don't know a dang thing about oracle cards, I've never heard of them. But, those were interesting. From what we've already sent the company, they like them so much they've already given us a discount. They've also asked us if they could stick the cards in their store and call them Pat's Pack. Pat's Pack of cards, or whatever you finally name it. And they can sell it from there. And we'll oh, that's really cool. That is really cool. I think I should design some playing cards. Okay, now I'm at the part of the gecko where I'm wondering if he has a butt. Should I put a butt on him? No, he doesn't have a butt. He has a tail. Right. I think that's pretty cool. You have a really great design and you make it happen. Your mom's name is Pat, and it sounds like when we get it all worked out and they sell enough, they might pay for themselves. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that idea, making a custom set of playing cards. And they're just like a 52 card poker deck or something. Are they for a specific? They're probably a 52 deck if they want to sell them in their shop. I've seen a lot of theme cards happen. You know, people like to give me sets of cards. I have 2 Wonder Woman decks because I really like Wonder Woman. And I have a deck of cards that have Devo on them. I hear they're a collector item, but I can't bring myself to do anything about that. I never expected anything like that to happen. It was more just doing it because I've threatened my mom that I'm going to make her own deck of cards for years. Yeah, Mom. Finally got off my butt and did it for whatever reason. Design, creativity, idea, I don't know exactly what they liked about it, but they obviously liked something enough. They were interested enough to display them. Oh, your mom's going to be tickled when she sees those. So tickled. I've done a lot of fun custom things for people, you know, like artwork wise. But I think the only thing that has really worked as far as everybody wanting a piece of it is my dad and I have this inside joke where I said to him once, I was like 13, and that's when Garfield was really, really popular. Cat that likes lasagna but hates Mondays. And I liked his tone, and I said to my dad, I said, Dad, I am just like Garfield. And he turns to me and he's like, you're not Garfield. You're more like Lucy Van Pelt. And I had to look that up. So when I started doing Inktober, actually for a really long time, I gave my dad a Lucy Van Pelt Halloween card for his birthday. And then the Hallmark store moved away from the main Peanuts characters, and now they only do Snoopy. It's kind of sad, but Okay, I got a big old round belly on that one. I'm going to make me a noggin for this guy. You would ask about other streamers. I had a streamer make and send me a set of D&D. Is it dice? I just like tabletop games. I think they're a lot of fun. But I can only ever play a game with my husband once. You know, he's an electrical journeyman, so he goes into buildings and big projects, and he does the electrical work for them. But I'm a software engineer, so I think I approach things very differently. So there are some games he's really good at and some that he's not, you know? So what does this new dice set look like? Is it a special stone or something? Oh, I'm gonna need something. I don't know where I put my extra wire. There it is. Chatting with him on Discord, he wanted to try and make a set of clear rainbow dice. Oh, I can see that. You know, I see people making dice a lot. You know, they have these molds and they have resin, and they'll do these dice that have what do they have? The dice will have like something that floats in them, which I think is really interesting, but I don't know how reliable those are. Maybe they're just novelties. It's hard to say. See-through? Clear works. I once saw a set of dice that was made with tiny, fluffy pom-pom chicks. You know, like baby chickens. Not real baby chickens, that would be cruel. But they took these little pom-poms, shaped like chickens with little chicken beaks and little chicken eyes. And they just crammed them into the molds and made dice out of them. That was kind of wild. I've seen people make some fun stuff. No baby chickens were hurt in the making of this stream. That is correct. No baby chickens. Just little pom-pom ones. And they aren't really alive. you seen this this dice contraption that is? Someone has taken one of those tiny jars, and what they do is they fill them with water and mica dust, so you can't really see into it, but the dice float in this water. And so they will put the water in and then a D20, and once they get that D20 in, they test it to make sure that it doesn't just, that it's balanced. And then you shake up the bottle and you put it upside down on the table, and whatever number comes to the surface on the bottom of the jar, that's your roll. It's kind of neat. All right. Here we go. I feel like this gecko needs some junk in his trunk, but he's gonna get a tail. Never heard of that. It is kind of neat, and you can get them in different colors, and they put the cork in it and they seal it with like glue, and then they take like burlap or some other kind of brown, rough something or other, and maybe a cord, like just a stringy cord, and once that's tied on the top, they put a wax seal on the top of the cork, and they make sure that it's even and all that. And then they put a label on it, and you can choose. You can choose what spell name or whatever. They have pre-made ones, so you don't have to think too hard about that, but they'll do custom ones, which is kind of nice. I thought that was cool, but they're like $20, and the bottle is, well, let's see if I have the bottle that's the right size. I don't have a bottle in my thing, but it's probably about this size. It's pretty sizable. It's enough room to stick a D20 in there. Okay, let's see what this tail is gonna do. A friend of ours makes dice towers. He's always trying new designs, so every time we get together, he's always got something different for us to try. Oh, I love dice towers. I think they're really neat. My friends just have these, what are they, leather on one side and velvet or felt on the other. And they have little snaps, so it makes them noiseless, I guess. Somebody even brings this gigantic, like, octagon of dice rolling area. That's a bit much for me, though. Does he laser print these dice towers? Because I can only think of, you'd either make them out of foam core or you'd have a design that you could put like wood in a laser cutter and then you just assemble it, something like that. .3D printed. Oh, 3D printed. Okay. All right, there's my gecko tail. Now I gotta put something on the front that'll attach to. What will this attach to? I think I'm gonna need a little more color here. Change for the day. Well, sometimes you need a break, And the last couple of art streams have been a little lonely, and I thought, well, I've needed a gecko figure for my game. I don't know how long it would take because it's been years since I've pulled this clay out of its storage. I'm actually kind of surprised that it's still workable. But I took a little time and I pulled out my iPad and looked at some pictures and came up with this Grumpy Gus. And I also have kind of a tentative plan to put him in armor, but that'll depend. I've been drawing pictures of geckos for God knows how long, just trying to get everything figured out. See, the gecko is replacing the tarantula, and then I have a snake that is replacing the centipede. And I replaced all the cockroaches with little frogs. So it all works out. If Gumbo the Badger could have armor, why not your gecko? Well, I have to see what he looks like first. I found a gecko that could be 3D printed, but the person who 3D prints these things for me didn't have the right materials. It had I guess when you have a pattern, like you get something like a gecko standing on his hind legs wearing a hat, you have to print supports with it. And that would have taken a lot of work. So he says, I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to be able to do this. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So here we are. I might make a lot of geckos. This one is way more detailed than I need it to be. And I'm really close to just, I'm going to finish this one and then I'm just going to start making a little man and shape his head. I just need this to be a little different. Sweet, an army of geckos. Yeah. That spider was like huge. It's like there are all these game pieces that you can paint. Which is really nice, but I don't think I could bring myself to paint that spider. I could probably have Jack do it. I could have him paint all the cockroach figures too. It's not like anybody in my game group's gonna see it. But hey, yeah, I'll totally do a gecko. I'll do a big gecko, I'll do a little gecko, simple gecko, complex gecko. Oh, I did too much. But that's the color I needed. Dang it. If I put too much softener in this, it becomes sticky. And I didn't think to put any newsprint on my desk so I could leach it. Alright, looking good. An army of geckos, shooby-dooby-doo-doo-doo. Now these don't get fired in a kiln. Polymer clay cures at 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see if I have this right here. Yeah, see, it's 2011. Come on. That's how old this clay is. 275 degrees Fahrenheit or 130 degrees Celsius for 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the size of your project. I'm probably going to have to fire it up in the middle of the night, though. Because, well, and it's not that hot. Yesterday it was 80. And today I think we peaked at 55. Yay, global weirding. No, not with the chocolate chip cookies. I'm gonna have to put a big no on that one. Darn it, not small enough. But it does go in the oven, and I usually try to wipe down the oven afterwards. Some people have a dedicated toaster oven to bake their things in. I do not. Yeah, a lot of people are allergic to peanuts. I once worked with someone who was so allergic to peanuts that they couldn't even be near somebody who was eating it. He's like, I'm so sorry, but I will barf on you if I smell peanuts. Like, alrighty then. Says, no, I mean, seriously, I'm sorry. I said, what? Well, you don't literally barf on people, do you? He's, no, well, I've done it once, which is why I say I will barf on you. Ew. But thanks for the heads up. All right. "30 years ago, peanuts meant nothing in school." Oh, yeah. And they used to give peanuts on airplanes and everything. Yeah, I don't think I encountered someone with a peanut allergy until I was at university. And I thought, wow, I thought you guys only existed in like hospital TV shows. Oh, an ad break is coming up. So if you're lurking and you haven't subscribed yet, I do a fun Monday stream with music if you like music. Otherwise, I try to stay chill on Wednesday nights. You can also use your Amazon account, and you'll get a hefty dose of me for about 30 days. Less in February, but a follow is always appreciated. You know, in the beginning, when I was just starting to do this channel, I didn't think much of it. The friend that pulled me in, she's got hundreds of followers and she works her tushy off. But I'm just happy to be here, you know? This is my internet coffee shop, where I just come in and hang out. All my stuff is here, so I'm not actually in a coffee shop. And man, I am so absorbed in this. I'm going to have to look at my picture of the gecko again just to make sure I'm doing it right. Now, I know you can't see it too well because my lighting is weird, but I'm putting his little belly stripes on him, and they're a slightly different color. Now these colors are kind of strange. Did you know there are black geckos? I think they're called satanic demon geckos. And they are black with red accents. Never in captivity. You should look them up though, they look really cool. So tonight's Lo-Fi is an artist that I found on Reddit, Excelete, and on YouTube, Excelete goes by Crystal Dragon Beats. Wouldn't be surprised if they were here on Twitch somewhere. So their username is kind of like saying Excelente, but without the N. And I put a link to this particular track in my YouTube description so that you can go listen to the album. This is an album by this artist, and it's pretty cool. I love the chill coffee house kind of thing. Peanuts. I remember my mother making cupcakes for the class.
When the space race launched in 1955, few could have imagined a future where the
advertisement? What? Sorry about that. I played this last time and it didn't have an ad. Alright, I gotta make this nice and skinny. And yeah, I'm one of those people who streams my music off of YouTube instead of Spotify. I never could justify a Spotify membership, you know. I know, then I get an ad, that does figure. It's like it was listening to me. Hey, everybody come see my stuff, I'm gonna run an ad. It is fun music, though. I wonder if I should write to this guy and say, hey, you got an ad right in the middle of a stream. Not cool, dude. Maybe he didn't know because the last one I used didn't have it. Okay. That is super skinny. I have a countdown that says, I can never tell when it shows us the stream elements thing. When it shows us the stream elements thing that says, oh, we're going to go into an ad. And then it doesn't show up for a while. Oh well. Luckily I caught it really quick. Okay. Well, he seemed like a nice person, just trying to promote his music and promote the music and get some ears on it, and all of them say, all of the things say, oh, it's stream safe, copyright safe music. The lo-fi from the relaxed movement, it's really hard to tell which one is going to trigger the Twitch's mute function. I've had that happen a few times. I have to make a note of what I ended up using so I don't use it again. Not because I can't undo it, but because I have to contest it. No, this music did not come from that. Yes, I have the rights to this music. I can use this. It's copyright free. I have an instrumental of my last album. Actually, I have instrumentals of all my albums. Maybe I should just put all my albums, rip them and play them from my computer. This time I refused to let the water try and kill me. On Monday I took a drink of water and then it was like, oh no, I'm going to die. To start working on his face. I don't think there is a way to leave a comment on the video because it's a playlist of some kind. Hard to say. I don't even know if you can message people on YouTube. You know, even that guy who harassed me because of the other musician, he never messaged me. I'm pretty sure he could if he wanted to. See, if I was putting armor on him, wouldn't have to worry about the seams right here. So I mentioned there was there's so many different types of geckos.
Tempur-Pedic breeze makes sleep feel cool, so no more sweating all night.
It's been 2.5 hours and I've gotten 2 ads out of this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna tell him. This may be 4 hours, dude, but it's got 3 minutes of ads in it. Rude. I might have to change to another thing if it turns out that I'm going to get an ad every 10 minutes. Because that's terrible. I'll have to go back to the relaxed movement. Just going to keep my cursor right on top of that mute button. I wonder, hang on a second. I'm going to hit my mute button and then I'm going to see if you can still hear me, because if you can still hear me, that's great. Last week's was better. I just wanted something that didn't have a lot of really loud ticks in it. Ticks and beeps. I also thought that this was pretty cool because it's a 4-hour track. I mean, how can you resist that? You like look up and you're like, oh, okay. Looks like I am almost to the end of my stream because I'm running out of music. Whereas the relaxed movement, they have like 12 hours. And it's basically the same 3 hours of music that's just been looped over and over and over. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Whatever I hit made it go louder for 10 seconds and go quiet again. Okay, because what I did was I hit my mute button. Oh, I see. Because it mutes it on my speakers, but it doesn't do anything else. Okay, well that sucks. Just gonna have to mute it on the track. And in the meantime, might have to go back to my old standard. All right, let's change and hope for the best.
If you're sending prompts all day, ChatGPT.
Nope, I can't do that. Sorry, guy. Oh, sorry about all the silence. I'm usually have a little something here. This one's got a little bit of piano in it. This one has the astronauts in it. I'm kind of tired of the astronauts, but I don't want to be quiet. I think this is actually the part that gets hit with the mute on Twitch because, well, I don't know if it's free to use or not. All right, let's get this noggin on here. So sorry about that weird thing. It didn't give me that problem last time. But then again, it didn't have ads last time. Maybe it's a new thing. Maybe it's a new thing from YouTube. Hey, if you wanna stream a bunch of lo-fi music, you're just gonna have to be monetized. Like there is this one lo-fi channel called Chill Hop, and the video that accompanies the songs is this little raccoon that's just kind of walking through the city with his headphones on. It's kind of cool looking. I figured out how to stream with that little trick that people do where they put their music on a separate track so it doesn't get into the VOD. But then I heard, oh, well, if you do that, somebody's going to ding you anyway. And then I was told a week or two ago that there is a subscription service where you can just pay like $4, $5 a month. And you have all of this music. Doesn't look like a gecko just yet. I mean, it probably does, but not to me. Okay. Sounds like a scam to me. We're gonna block or keep you from playing all these musics. Oh, but hey, here's one you can use. Feel free to pay for it. Yeah. I don't know. I know that there are services out there that where you can get royalty-free music, and it's been licensed specifically for streamers. What's funny is Irene used one of my songs in one of her videos on YouTube and got dinged for copyright. I'm so sorry, I didn't realize that I'd copyrighted it. Okay, maybe I did, but I didn't expect that to happen to you. Oh well. I can always try it for a little bit, and if I don't like it, well, then I will hire somebody to make music while I do art. I think Irene and I have tried doing that, but then she ends up going back and making art. So we don't really switch off topics. She's been encouraging me to write more songs. And I really should go into that text thread and grab those recordings that she sent me. But you know, one thing Irene has that I don't, and that is she has a business. I do not have a business. I probably should, but not all businesses are successful right out of the gate. I need to clear up my sleep issues first. Because it takes a lot of hard work, and it's kind of tough to do hard work when your head is all foggy from sleep deprivation. I'm a gecko. There's a lot of interesting things that you can subscribe to or pay for or that don't suck. Like I found a website that if you want an immersive experience in your D&D game, this is funny, you can buy a machine that will create smells so that you can get your players in the moment, really immerse them in the world. So what kind of smells? Oh, well, you know, tavern. Here, you walk into a tavern. Here is what it smells like. Whoa. Can we turn around and leave? There is way too many sweaty and beer things in here. And that same website will give you access to a bunch of WAV files that can loop or give voices to your NPC. It's kind of weird. So now you not only have the little machine that does the smells, you also have a little WAV file that'll loop that's nothing but people talking in a crowded room. Hey, you can't hear anything in here but the people mulling about. Press a button. I don't know why I was looking up these things. I think it's probably left over from when I was trying to do a short campaign. Something that I could do with musicians to try and spark their imagination for songwriting. Find players with better imaginations. Yeah, that's true. I could do that. But I think that my own experience with newbies has been one where, they're not following very well, or, people don't have much of an imagination. And I think that's the issue that I'm having with my current group, is that I adore them. They're all wonderful people, but they don't really do any role playing. They just kind of, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. Like, what? Are you going to say anything? Well, I'm going to tell him to do this. Okay. Where's the fun in that? I think I told you about that they were more mathematical players than anything else. And I'm just in it for the lulz, But see, I think that's the thing, though, is that I figured that musicians would be open to wanting to craft that story, especially my musician friends that are in songwriting mode or in a creation mode. That kind of thing. And my current DM is trying to encourage me. Oh, have you done this yet? I'm like, no. No, I haven't. And then she'll send me links to these little 2-hour campaigns that you can do in an afternoon. I don't know, the whole thing scares me a little bit. Yeah, you have to do some role playing. You have to do a lot of improvising, and I'm pretty good at improvising. I mean, if I do say so myself, pretty damn good at improvising. Well, songwriting is also a bit of storytelling, and I would just like, you have to break in your brain a little bit. And one of the things that kind of got me re-interested in playing were those real play podcasts. like Tales from the Stinky Dragon. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. It probably helps that everyone who plays in Stinky Dragon, they're all voice actors. So, of course, they're going to role play and use voices and silly things like that. I still want to do it. I still want to use crazy voices. I want to do crazy voices and say things off the cuff and oh, you might appreciate this because I was laughing when I heard it. Okay, so I listened to this podcast called Actors or Drama Students Might Be the Better Way to Go. Well, I know at least one of my musician friends also does theater. So they might be a little more interested than the others. But I was listening to a podcast called We Fix Space Junk. And the premise is pretty simple. These two people are in a spaceship and they work for a corporation that these two people owe money to, so they're pretty much trapped to working for the corporation forever. And they get these little missions. And they go to these weird planets and they try to help them. And they went to this one planet that is all words. Like Pokemon. You know how Pokemon, they only ever say their own name? Pika Pika. Well, everything on this planet is made of words. And one of them is a horse. And the only noise it makes is it's horse. Aw, don't feel sad, horse. Don't worry, we'll come back for you. Ooh, horse. We Fix Space Junk. It's the newest season after like a 2 or 3 year hiatus. I think that's the only thing I don't like about podcasts is that if I get one that I really like and it just goes away, how dare you leave me in a lurch? COVID did that to a number of my favorite podcasts. Oh, we can't all be in the same room together anymore. So now we can't do the podcast because not everybody has the equipment at home. But you know what? Now there's AI, and AI can make your crappy microphone sound like it's $1 billion. Finally finished the Mud Arc in Stinky Dragon. The Infinites, yeah. Now finally on the arc about Bartholomew. So good. There's another one called Girls That Don't D&D. And it's out of Australia. And it's this dude, and he's the DM for 3 of his friends who are women who've never played before, and they're just kind of, okay, well, okay, ladies, just have fun with it and just keep going. And you know, there is no wrong way to play the game. And then they turn around and do some really ridiculous stuff. But they're having a blast, so you can't really fault them. They don't use silly voices, but they do use character voices, and the sound design is pretty good. I always think it's kind of funny when a D&D podcast has a voice actor do the villains. But the girls that don't D&D, they actually say, hey, if you want to voice a character, let us know. And you might end up in one of our episodes. I'm like, heck yeah, sign me up. I keep putting this behind my picture. Maybe I should move my picture. I'm going to move my picture. There we go. That way when it comes up here, everybody can see it. So how are you liking Bartholomew? I'm still stuck in the campaign with the little girl vampire and Chip Haney. Hi there, Chip Haney. How are you doing? Okay, now we go to the eyes. Now, where did my little thing go that I was holding on to? Ta-da! There we go. I think it was oh gosh, who was the bard in the main Infinites? The halfling bard, I guess. Oh, yeah. Haven't started the park arc yet. There's one between the tails where they level up, and then there's a one-off. Yeah, there is one where Gus isn't the DM. The Bart arc yet. Okay. Yeah, there was one where I guess I really didn't want to go into the next arc because I didn't like the characters that they had created. I wanted more Gum Gum. Come on, Gum Gum. That's who I modeled my barbarian after. My sister has texted me. I'm going to send her a picture. I'm going to let her just deal with that. Deal with it, Sestra. All right. I think once I get the eyes on, I might have to think about wrapping it up. And this, when I say eyes done, that's probably at least another. I'm so slow at this. I'm seriously slow at this. Oops. There we go. Well, Stinky Dragon is one of those that I listen to if I'm doing things around the house. Sometimes I'll listen to it when I'm taking a nap. Just put the timer on. Put a timer on there. Listen to 20 minutes of it. There's a lot of D&D live play podcasts, but I don't think they're created equal. Like there's one called My Brother, and Me that's supposed to be really good. The Infinite Interns has been very interesting. They did start off with KYB or Cheese storyline, then they moved into Muds. Now they're going into Bart's, and I hope at the end they're going to do something with Gum Gum, but I'm not there yet. I know there's a lot of other podcasts after that, and I'm guessing they probably change rules and do different campaigns. Yeah. I guess I just don't like their premise. Oh, hey, this is me and my brothers. We're going to play D&D together. Oh, yay. Good for you. Good for you. I'm just going to be over here doing something else. All right, let's see what we can do with this. Looks like a slee stack. One of the things I liked about the Stinky Dragon is that they started doing these little puppet shows on Instagram. I guess somebody's mom made little puppets, made little felt dolls of these guys. So they built a little set, and they would use these puppets and the audio from the podcast to play them out, to play out the little scenes. And it's the cutest freaking thing you've ever seen. Oh, you know, as far as I've listened, if they change it up and keep using the same people, like Gus, Blaine, Barbara, John, and Chris. I'll keep listening. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much the same through where I've gone. Let me see what campaign I'm on. I have been listening to Midst, and Midst has been at the end of every freaking episode, you will hear me make a big noise that's so angry. So mad, how dare you guys do that to me. Vengeance in Vania. John and Micah's, oh, there we go. I am on Vengeance in Vania. So I'm not quite sure. I think the date on them is April 2024. But yeah, look up Stinky Dragon Pod on Instagram. So worth it. Somewhere in the mid 70s. Okay. What's the number? Campaign 02, episode 44. It's the one with Barney Farney. Poor Chip Haney, looking for his wife. He pretty much never ever lets you forget that he's doing that. Oh yeah, they start over the numbering in the campaigns. So that's a ways back. You're quite a ways back behind me. So you've got a lot of really cool stuff to still discover, which is awesome. Getting kind of mad at this black clay because it is never going to be small enough for these eye sockets. Let's see if I can get these eye sockets going. But yeah, I'm quite a ways beyond you. Let me see what 77 actually, what the thing is. So in our campaign that we've been running since 2019, keeping in mind there was a long break for COVID and blah blah, we have about 35 to 40 recaps because every session I will do a recap. The website we're using, we fit it into there and created a Wikipedia. Oh, that's kind of nice. I like that. I think that's awesome. You know, I tried using D&D Beyond for this particular campaign, but the D&D Beyond is only good if you start your game there, you know. You can't go in later and just manually put everything in because, you know, it's got limitations. So if you do any homebrew at all, it's not gonna, I'm sorry, you can't have that spell. That's not a spell you can have. It's not even in the book anymore. What? So now I have to do something else. Very annoying. I would have liked to have had something else to keep track of all my freaking numbers. There's something about Foundry. Huh. Is it a D&D specific site? Not the mechanics guy. Foundry.com. Yeah, I don't know what, where to find that. Foundry Virtual Tabletop. Is that what you're looking at? I see what this is. Interesting. Interesting. Huh, how about that? Now that looks fun. Very nice. I'll have to check that out a little further. You're just the historian, the weekly emailer, point of reference guy, and probably supposed to also do the Secret Santa. Maybe. Maybe you're the Secret Santa. Alright, I got some eyeballs on this guy. Check it. He looks like a big bug. I hope my friend isn't freaked out by him. Gotta find my gecko picture. Where are my pictures? There it is. I have this one and this one. So I think the eyes need to come a little closer to the front of the head. I sure thought it was really neat when I started DMing for you guys and you started sending me the recaps and my buddies were like, hey. The only reason I did recaps is because that's what my other group does, and I thought that was pretty keen. Should make a comic book out of that. when I started bringing an old phone and doing recordings of each session and turning it into recaps for how many campaigns we've had now, we now find it invaluable in regards to if you want to be creative to something on the fly. Yes. Yes. That is very valuable. I wonder if these eyes are going to work for me. Keep moving him up towards the front of the head so he looks more like a gecko. I've never made or drawn a gecko before. I don't want him to look like Kermit, so. All right, I gotta get these eyelids on here. I think that because my group only meets maybe once a month, I think that became kind of necessary, you know, to have somebody be the historian, the group historian. And I didn't even get the idea from my game group, now that I think of it. I got that idea from Barbara. From Stinky Dragon. Because the guys were all going off on whatever BS they go off on. And here she is. She's like, well, that's not what happened. I wrote it down. And I'm all, now there's a concept. Oh, sorry. No, I was saying that I got the idea to do all that from Barbara doing the logging of the 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 recaps. But she doesn't do recaps. She just takes lots and lots of notes. That, and I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. It's called The Gamers. And I'm trying to remember if the production company that did The Gamers is local to me or the East Coast or what. But this movie is amazing. And the funny thing is that there's one woman in the game group, and she kicks everybody's rear end because she's using all of the math. And she's new to the group, so she doesn't know that these guys just use it as an excuse to eat junk food and fart around. So here she is slaying all the dragons. And they're looking at her like, what? How did you do that? Well, it's in the rule book. But yeah, that's kind of what those recaps and what good record keeping does. It just allows you to improvise really well. All right. I'm putting off doing eyelids for this guy. I really want to do it, but I'm starting to black out a little bit because I haven't eaten. One of the guys fed all the recaps through AI and was unable to summarize each of our characters. It was actually really neat what the AI perceived in regards to our characters, how we were running our characters or what it thought about them. Was it scandalous? That sounds like it would be very scandalous. Sounds like it would be very, very scandalous. It is just neat to get AI's interpretation. I can't bring myself to use AI unless I'm absolutely desperate. I encountered somebody on Threads who said, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Generative AI doesn't steal from anybody. And every artist on Threads just dogpiled him. I mean, it's one thing to use AI for a specific purpose. But when you have AI going in and stealing things and modifying things to be a certain style, that gets hairy very quickly. Darn it. One artist said something along the lines of, I posted this design of mine that I sell on stickers and other things, and a week later I see this being sold on another website, and she says, I watermarked my image, I wrinkled it up so nobody could see it really well, they used AI to clean it up, and I thought, geez Louise. But that's something that artists have to deal with all the time. It's probably one of the reasons that I haven't really posted any cutesy art or things that I thought might be, worthwhile for other people to have in some sense. But it's a catch-22. You either put what you have out there to get noticed and to build an audience, or you don't, and you just kind of sit in a swamp, hoping for somebody to come by and throw you a rope. All right, here we go. That is not. Is that the right green? Probably is. This is nuts. Okay. I like to use AI to translate legal documents. Because when I was trying to put my stuff on a print-on-demand website, I will. It probably doesn't help that Jack's been cooking and I can smell it in here. But I really want to put these eyebrows on. Or should I say eyelids? But being able to translate legalese and see what exactly it is I'm limiting myself to, very helpful. Darn thing pushed its tail in. So I'm probably going to finish this up off camera. Because let's see, what time is it? It's 9:15. Jack knows that my art streams tend to go on a little long, but he goes to bed kind of early. And on Wednesday nights, I don't see a lot of him unless, he comes in here and says, "Hey, Wynne, what are you doing?" There are so many streamers that I really want to keep visiting their streams, but they go on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm always doing something else. Like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Anthony Wheeler, who I've been following since he was building an audience on Instagram many years ago. He's older now. I mean, I remember seeing him when he was in his early 30s. No, not early 30s, early 40s, late 30s, and he was a hoot back then, too. But, I find that a lot of, look at that. I find that a lot of artists are making their money not from the sale of art, but from selling classes and seminars on how to make art. And while I am an excellent teacher, I don't want to do that. Although I have considered doing those little paint parties where everybody drinks fancy wine and they get a paper plate full of paints and sit around gabbing and learning how to paint rainbows and cherry trees. Thing is, I would love to go to one of those, but I don't drink. So it's just not logical for me to go to one. Which is why I think I should make one where all you do is snack. Canvases and crunchy snacks. Or maybe if people are still scrapbooking, maybe I could do a scrapbooking things. Scrapbooking and snacks. I think his eyes are too big to look like a gecko. Okay. I guess Wednesday is a really good night to stream art. you know? Because I see a lot of people, breeze through on Wednesday nights who like to watch art, and I think that's really great. Well, I did have a problem in college, and I had to stop. But, I was a casual drinker through most of my adult life. Hey, let's have a fancy drink. But, once I went into the perimenopause, can't drink anymore. Because drinking makes everything bad. It brings out all of when I was in school, when we'd drink, we were usually partying, hey, everybody makes stupid jokes and sing songs badly with the wrong lyrics and get laid, all that kind of fun stuff. But I was told no alcohol, no caffeine, and no chocolate. And I said, okay, I can't get rid of all of those. I can't do it. So I'm going to quit drinking. And now I'm a lightweight. Now I'm a freaking lightweight. All right, there's my gecko. I'm probably going to make his face wider. That won't be too hard. Interesting. So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, can't chocolate, can't caffeine. And you know what? I did decaf. I even went through the headaches of withdrawal from caffeinated coffee, and after a while, I was sleep deprived, and it started to catch up with me. So I started to do caffeine again, little by little, like half decaf kind of stuff. And now I'm full decaf again. Full caffeinated. And I never really stopped eating chocolate. But neither of those things affect me the way that alcohol does now. So, stop drinking. I don't know how some people can just continue to drink wine. Wine is completely off the table because my medication does not do well with fermentation. So, things like sauerkraut and kimchi, smoked cheeses, smoked meat, beef jerky. Can't do those anymore. There are some things that I actually can do that are on the no-no list for my meds. And then I realized, oh, okay, it's because my dose isn't that high. Nobody'd notice, but I'm still not going to eat sauerkraut or kimchi. Oh, let's see what we got here. Mentioned all three of those things to her. I don't remember them being mentioned, but the perimenopause itself is really frustrating. Yeah, it is. It's frustrating as heck. I think I'm on the other side now, so I don't have anything to worry about, but now it's just, I'm in maintenance mode, which is good. I'm enjoying maintenance mode. So let me come over here. I've had a really good time with the clay stuff. I've forgotten how just calming it is to work with my hands. I feel this way after doing painting too, which is awesome. I really should add another stream to my week, especially since I don't stream that often, so I'm not very visible. So I'm thinking, my stepson usually works on Saturdays, and Jack has a thing where he goes to the game store to play Warhammer on Saturday mornings. So maybe I'll think about that. I could split my stream. I could do like, I don't know, half art, half music, or vice versa. Oh no, the caffeine, chocolate, and alcohol thing is something that was not told to me by a doctor or a website. My aunt told me about this. My aunt said, you need to always keep these things with you and avoid these 3 things. I said, I don't think I can give up chocolate. She says, try. You don't have to be flawless, but yeah, just try. Lucky me, I have a sweet tooth that will not die. She had to go in for a day surgery for something. Oh, yeah. I think I know what it is. That was women's healthcare is sadly barbaric. So I'm glad that she didn't have any problems with that. Because I scared the attending that was shadowing my physician that day. Not fun. So my next procedure, because at this age they call them procedures, my husband's going in with me. And I'm going to be high. And they might prescribe me a couple of Percocets. Yeah, should be great. All right, that said, I hope you have your notifications on, that you're following me, that you are subscribing, so that you'll know when I finally get around to adding another stream to my week. And I haven't decided if I'm just going to do it on Twitch or if I'm going to do it on Twitch and YouTube. Just because. The logistics of it all, you know. So all my lurkers, I love you. All my drive-bys, I love you. I'm so grateful for you every single time I hit that start streaming button and get going. I'm getting a lot better about showing up on time, that's for sure. I hope you enjoyed my little experiment with my half-baked gecko, or not-baked gecko. Yeah. I think he'll have a bigger head next time you see him. Who knows? Well, I have the rest of the week and the weekend to get well-versed in my old catalog, and it should be fun. I'll bring that to you on Monday. I love you. I want you to be happy. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other, and let someone take care of and give you a kindness as well. I know it's really hard to receive that sort of stuff, but you got to do it. Embrace the love. Let it shine. DBT, thank you for the conversation. I had a good time. And everyone else, I hope to see you on Monday, and we'll jam, and I will speak in a normal voice. And I will have eaten beforehand. Yeah. Okay, so I'm calling it a night. I'm not going to raid. Maybe I'll raid on Saturday when everybody's online, and I don't care. So let me turn this up, and we're going to go to the end screen. Have a fantastic rest of the week. We'll see you next time.